So, welcome everyone, corporate Bhagavad Gita. There are prayers on my screen. You can repeat with me. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunamilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yuktapadakamam Shri Gurum Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahana Gurunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Vijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन वंश पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानु सुदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome everyone. We were reading 18th chapter and verse was 48. Yeah. So we were discussing here that we all have certain psychophysical nature because of the three modes that are there in our body: mind, body, intelligence, senses. All these three modes are there. So we have different inclinations, likes, dislikes, attitudes, convictions, and we get attracted to certain roles in life, like a Brahmanical role, Kshatriya role, Vaishya role, Shudra roles. Brahmanical role is where one likes to gain knowledge, study the Vedas, the philosophy, and follow certain principles in life like peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, honesty, like that, religiousness. Kshatriya is where the attitude is to administer, to be heroic, to gain power, determination, resourcefulness. Vaishya is business mind, agriculture, cow protection. Shudra is he doesn't have above inclinations, but he's ready to offer his service, his physical service to the above three. So when we do all of these, there will be some fault. Like, in case of Kshatriya, the fault is like we have to kill people, because sometimes in protecting the weak from the evil, we have to be violent. So some violence is there, some fault is there. In case of Brahmana, some yajnas may require animal killing. Hmm. Then there is some fault in it. In case of business and all that, we may have to tell some lies to grow our business. In case of Shudra, we may have to sometimes serve a bad master. Hmm. So some fault will be there. But like we discussed this, every endeavor is covered by some fault. Just like a fire is covered by smoke. But that doesn't mean we should give up the work which is born of our nature. Okay? It doesn't mean that we have to give up our work because there's a fault in it. Like the policeman should not say that, oh, I have to, stop criminal, I have to fight, I have to argue. Okay? He should not say that. That's the part of his duty. The doctor should not say, I'll have to cut the body, take out some blood. No, that is all part of it. Even if that's a fault, one should not see it as a fault. It's a part of that duty. Just like if there is cold, it's winter time and someone has lit fire, but there is smoke also coming out of it. What will you do? Will you go near the fire? We will go because the fire gives warmth. At that point, we won't say, oh, there's a smoke, right? Because it is cold, we will go near the fire. Even if the fire has smoke in it, we will still take the warmth from it. You understand this point? We'll still take the warmth from it. So a fault should not tell us that okay, we should give up the work. That is the problem of Arjuna. He saw the fault in the very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he saw the fault. Swajana hi Krishna. What good can I get by killing my kinsmen, my own family members? What good I get? Hmm? I better beg. I don't want to quarrel. I see destruction of not just myself but the society. So many women will lose their men, and then the children born from such women, they won't have any uh, senior people, senior family members to guide them. So the family traditions will break. When family traditions break, the pindadan, all that will also stop. I see only destruction. Krishna, I don't want to fight. Now Krishna in the 18th chapter is saying, definitely there is some fault in this war. You have to kill your own family members and all this. But just like we may not reject a fire which is covered by a smoke, same way we should not reject a work which has some faults in it, especially if the fault is born out of our nature. This is a very important point. If it is born out of our nature. Sahajam karma kauntaya. So if it is our nature and if it is within these uh, varnas, then we should do it even if there is a fault in it. Okay. Now how to do it? That was explained. Now how we can make it perfect? That was explained by in 46 verse. That we worship the Lord, which is the source of all beings and all pervading, a man can attain perfection to performing his work. So while performing our work, whether perfectly, imperfectly, doesn't matter. We worship the Supreme Lord. We offer our results to Him. यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्माणं तम अभ्याचर्य सिद्धं विन्दति मानवः. Abhyacharya, by worshipping. We worship whom? The Supreme, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading. When we do this and when we perform our karma, then we achieve perfection. Even if we perform the karma perfectly or imperfectly, it doesn't matter. Like we always take this example of Jatayu. He was old when Sita was kidnapped. He was very old. He knew he wouldn't be able to stop Ravana. But he still gave a fight. And he died in that process. So his sabha was what? That he was a fighter. And then he gave a fight to protect. In that process, he lost. Still, he achieved perfection. Shriram came and he gave him liberation, mukti. He gave him mukti. So, So even if there is a fault in the duty, one should still perform it and offer to Krishna, worship the Lord. That's it. Any questions at this point?
No.
Okay. So yes, this is how Krishna is trying to convince Arjuna, who sees fault in his activity. Okay. Now Krishna is going to give further explanations. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spriha नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमां संन्यासेनाधिगच्छति. One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain by practice of renunciation the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction. So there are a few more things in that worship. We should be self-controlled, unattached, disregards all material enjoyment, and practice of renunciation. This is all a very part of that worship. Real renunciation means that one should always think himself to be part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and therefore think that he has no right to enjoy the result of his work. He has no right to enjoy the result of his work. Since he part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, the results of his works must be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. This is actually Krishna consciousness. When we are working in the factory or company or whatever, doing our business, we are earning money, isn't it? We earn it for whom? Our family members, right? We earn it mainly for our family members. And we will see that the fathers are sometimes very sacrificing. They give everything for the family. When it comes to their own enjoyment, they may sacrifice that also. So it is not something, because he sees the family as his part and parcel. Okay, he is a part and parcel of the family. He thinks like that. Same way, if we think we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, which we are, and the result should be enjoyed by the Supreme, that is actual Krishna consciousness. A person acting in Krishna consciousness is really sannyasi, one in the renounced order of life. By such a mentality, one is satisfied because he is actually acting for the Supreme. Thus, he is not attached to anything material. He becomes accustomed to not taking pleasure in anything beyond the transcendental happiness derived from the service of the Lord. A sannyasi is supposed to be free from the reactions of his past life. But a person who is in Krishna consciousness automatically attains this perfection without even accepting the so-called order of renunciation. So even before becoming actual sannyasi, we can attain the perfection of a sannyasi. Ultimately, a sannyasi is meant to give all his activities, thoughts, mind, everything in Krishna's service. But if somebody achieves it without the order of renunciation, without actually taking that sannyas danda and all that, then he's a sannyasi. This state of mind is called yoga rudha, or perfectional stage of yoga, as confirmed in third chapter. Yastam atmariti sa eva svat. One who is satisfied in himself has no fear of any kind of reaction from his activity. So this stage is called yoga rudha. What is the next one? सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथा नोक्ति निबोध में समासैनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा. O son of Kunti, learn from him how one who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfectional stage, Brahman, the stage of highest knowledge, by acting in such a way. I shall now summarize. Now, this Brahman, see the word Brahma is used. Brahman is a state of pure spiritual state. Okay, when one achieves mukti, he enters Brahman. It's like that. So how does one achieve mukti? By acting in a way I shall now describe. So in the later he say, even with karma you can achieve this Brahman. Generally we have this understanding that, oh, we have to go to forest and do tapasya and then achieve Brahman. Here Krishna is saying, even by acting, even by doing work, we can achieve. Okay. The Lord describes for Arjuna how can one achieve the highest perfectional stage simply by being engaged in his occupational duty, performing that duty for supreme personality rewarded. One attains the supreme stage of Brahman simply by renouncing the art, the result of his work for the satisfaction of the supreme law. That is the process of self-realization. The actual perfection of knowledge is in attaining pure Krishna consciousness that is described in the following verses. So even by performing duty, we can achieve. Okay, it is not that okay we have to go to some forest and then do some tapasya or something like that. No, for even by duty we can achieve. बुद्धया विशुद्धाया युक्तो धृत्यामानं नियमच शब्दादीन विषयां स्तप्ता रागद्वेषेषु युडस्य विविक्त सेवी लघ्वयसि यथा वा काय मनसः ध्यान योगो परो नित्यम वैराग्यम समुपश्रितः अहंकारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिगृह्ण विमुच्याय निर्ममः शांतो ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. So very big list he has given. By purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance and is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self realization. So, when one is doing his occupational duty, he should purify his intelligence, control his mind, give up objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred. Raga, Dvesha. Attachment and hatred means attached to something that we like to do, and hatred is something we don't like to do, don't want it in our life. When one lives in a secluded place means not forest, but a place where he is away from the materialistic, in the association of devotees, like that. Who eats little. um, Here the food means is very simple. Okay, it is not very agitating to the mind. Little means just to keep the body uh, strong, that's it, not to make it obese by too much eating. No. Who controls his body, mind, and power of speech. So same point is said, controlling the mind. Okay, here also the control of mind is there, body is also there, power of speech is also there, because with this he doesn't commit any offense. When one commits offense which is aparad, then one has to first get rid of that aparad, so that will take time, energy, etc. So if he just controls his body, mind, power, then he can avoid all the aparads. Who is always in trance means he is always thinking about Krishna. He is situated on the soul platform, who is detached, free from false ego. False ego means I am this body. He's free from that. He knows that I am not the body, only it's temporary. False strength, he knows that his strength also that he has is temporary. False pride, that pride also is temporary. Lust, greed, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship. This is mine, it belongs to me. One is free from that thought process. Why? Because he says this is mine only for this lifetime, till death. I have to take care of it till death only, that's it. After that I am gone. So he has that understanding, that's how he becomes free from false proprietorship. Otherwise we people, how Even while dying, they're thinking of what they've achieved in their life, right? They're stuck to it. They want to hold on to it. So they are unpeaceful. But when one gives a false proprietorship, he becomes peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. Then only path of self-realization, Atma Sakshatkar, Mukti, is is open for such people. Any question at this point?
Is it possible to live, to stay in the state of trance? How can we achieve that?
See, trance has multiple meanings. Okay, uh,
So
in
why
the
am I
Dhyan
asking this
Yoga,
question?
when one is in trance, then he is in forest, keeping his eyes half closed, meditating on the form of the Paramatma. That type of trance is not possible for all of us because we are working in this world. Okay, for us, this trance means little different. This trance means we connect everything with Krishna. When we are able to do that, that is trance. If we see anything separate from Krishna, we want to enjoy it separate from Krishna, then it's not trance. Like that. So that is a meaning for Bhakti Yogi. Trance for us, for Bhakti Yogi, means little different.
Okay, got it.
Hmm. Just take the example of the Pandavas. They were all Bhakti Yogis, and because all their consciousness was fixed on Krishna, they did everything for Krishna. So they were always in trance. But they were working, right? They were working on the field, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
First, so for us, this is the example. Okay, for us, this is the example. But for those who are um, in Dhyan yogis, for them this is kind of a trance for them, which is not possible for us. Okay, I don't know if this is a true picture or something, but like that. So don't think this is a trance for us. Okay, this is not a trance for us. For Bhakti yogis, this is not the trance. This is a trance for Dhyan yogis. And what they are achieving, ultimately they are achieving to see the Paramatma within their heart. 4-handed form of Vishnu. That's it. In this trance, they will see Vishnu in them. But for Karma Yogi, right, through his activities, he will be focused on Krishna. We will see how it is. Okay, Krishna is just starting to say. When one is purified by intelligence, he keeps himself in mode of goodness. Thus, he becomes controller of the mind and is always in trance. He is not attached to the objects of sense gratification and is free from attachment and hatred in his activities. Such a detached person naturally performs to live in a secluded place. He does not eat more than what is required, and he controls the activities of body and mind. He has no false ego because he does not accept body as himself, nor has he a desire to make the body fat and strong by accepting so many material things. Because he has no bodily concept of life, he is not falsely proud. He is satisfied with everything that is offered to him by the grace of the Lord and is never angry in the absence of sense gratification. See, his samatva, when happiness is there, he is not carried with it. When sadness is there, he is not carried with it. So when in sadness there is no happiness, there is absence of sense gratification, there is absence of happiness. He is not disturbed by it. Okay. Nor does he endeavor to acquire sense objects. Thus, when he is completely free from false ego, he becomes non-attached to all material things, and that is the stage of self-realization of Brahman. That stage is called Brahma Bhuta stage. When one is free from material conception of life, he becomes peaceful and cannot be agitated. आपूर्यमानामचलं प्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमपः प्रवशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामयं प्रवशन्ति सर्वे न शान्तिम् आपनोति न कामकामी. A person who is not disturbed by incessant flows of desire that enter like rivers into the ocean which is ever being filled but is always still can alone achieve peace, and not the person who strives to satisfy such desires. So to achieve that trance, so many desires are there in our heart. But if you become like an ocean, then so many rivers putting water in the ocean doesn't change the ocean. Right? It doesn't disturb the ocean. Suddenly after 2 days, we don't see the ocean is overflowing. It can absorb all that extra water, isn't it? Same way, if we achieve peace by not being disturbed by the incessant flows of desires, how do we achieve that? If we don't run after those desires, okay? We don't satisfy those desires. Second thing is we dovetail those desires in Krishna's service. That is the secret actually. ब्रह्मभूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न कांक्षति सम सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद भक्तिम लभते पराम. Okay. Can you keep yourself at mute, Prabhuji? Okay. Thank you. So this is a very important verse. Brahma bhuya prasanna atma. Brahma bhuta prasanna atma. So he has achieved Brahman. That is a state of spiritual sky. And then he becomes happy. Prasanna atma. At the level of atma. Na sochati na kankshati. Kankshati means akanksha. Desire. He's not desire. Shochati. Shochati means he's not lamenting. He's not feeling sad. Such thing didn't happen in his life. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. He's looking at all living beings equally. How to look at all living beings equally? To know that they are also living beings. They are also jivatmas. They are also atma. Okay? Mad bhaktim labate param. In such a state, mad bhaktim, devotion to Krishna, is achieved. It becomes param. Param means topmost. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that stage, he attains pure devotion service unto me. To the impersonalist, achieving the Brahma Bhuta stage, becoming one with the Absolute, is the last word. See, this Brahma Bhuta I was saying now. So, there are impersonalists who want to merge into the Brahman. Brahman is the spiritual sky, okay? It is a spiritual sky emanating from body of Krishna. So it is also spiritual. And the Atma can be in it and he can achieve Shanti. Om Shanti Shantihi. Okay? So there is amazing peace in that merging into Brahman. But that is for a impersonalist. Dhyan, not even Dhyan Yogi, a Gyan Yogi. A Gyan Yogi is, he goes into this. A Dhyan Yogi and a Bhakti Yogi, for them, they are personalist. They still go further. Where do they go further? Can you tell me? What is beyond Brahma Jyoti? What is beyond Brahma Jyoti? Anyone? Anyone?
Prabhuji Paramatma. Hello. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah. Paramatma. Okay.
Yeah. And Bhagavan.
Huh?
And Bhagavan Prabhuji.
Where does Bhagwan live?
Is that heart? Yes.
No, that is where Paramatma lives.
Yeah.
Where does Bhagwan live?
Vaikunt.
Huh?
Vaikunt?
Yes. So beyond the Brahma Jyoti is the Vaikuntha planets.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, See, this is Brahma Jyoti. Okay. This is material world, and then Brahma Jyoti is like a spiritual sky, which is emanating from body of Krishna. And beyond it is Mathura Dham, Ayodhya Dham, Dwarka Dham. These are all Vaikuntha planets. Beyond this is all Vaikuntha planets. Okay. Can you keep yourself mute, Prabhuji? Ah. So what I was saying, yeah. So this is all Vaikuntha planets. So for a Bhakti Yogi, this is the destination. Vaikuntha planets. He still goes further. And what happens in the Vaikuntha planets? He engages in pure devotional service. Do we have that slide? So if you see, the Vaikuntha planets is where the real tree is, and when we reach there, we serve Krishna, we befriend him, we love him in the relationship. What kind of relationship is there? Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Engaging in devotional service in Vaikuntha Loka. How do we do it? First is Dasya, Sakya. This is how. Um, this is by being friendship. Uh, uh, this is friendship. What I'm doing. Example is what? Arjuna. Then Sakya Datsya, Vatsalya. This is service through parenthood. Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Parenthood. How is this done? Vasudeva Devaki or Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. One serves Krishna as his parents. Then Madhurya, conjugal love. Here there are two types, but I will not specify that. One is Lakshmi and one is Radha. As a lover. So this is what is happening in Vaikuntha Loka. We are with Krishna in a relationship. Either that relationship could be friendship, parenthood, or Madhurya. Okay? This is what is happening in the spiritual world. We are engaged in pure devotion service. This means that when one is engaged in pure devotion service to the Lord, is already in the state of liberation, called Brahmabhuta, oneness in with absolute. This is the state of trance also. Okay, you were asking about trance. So here what happens is one is personally serving Krishna. Example I will take is we will take two examples. One is Arjuna. Arjuna was always remembering Krishna wherever he was. He was always remembering Krishna. So even in his sleep, he would chant Krishna, 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 Krishna like that. It is impossible for us, isn't it? But on his level, he was already in trance, remembering Krishna, serving Krishna. Nanda Maharaj Yashoda. When Krishna left Vrindavan, went to Mathura, he didn't come back. So they would sit outside the house and keep watching at the road which took Krishna away. And once what happened is Krishna sent Uddhava to pacify the Gopas, Gopis, Vrindavan Vasis, that he will come one day, he will come. So when he entered, he saw there was a small stream of water flowing on the road. So he walked up that stream and he found that there were two people who were crying, and from their eyes, so much of water was coming out. And those two people were Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. So you can understand which is impossible for a human being to produce so much of water, when on a spiritual platform all these things becomes possible. Okay, so that is the trance that is there, no? And then there are gopis and all that. You get this point? Brahma Bhuta stage, the trance state.
Yes.
Yeah. Without being one with the Supreme, the Absolute, one cannot render service unto him. In the Absolute conception, there is no difference between served and servitor, yet the distinction is there in a higher spiritual sense. In the material concept of life, when one is working for sense gratification, there is misery. In the Absolute truth, when one is working, engaged in devotional service, there is no misery. It's a very nice statement. What does Vaikuntha means? Do you know? Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is divided into two words. Vai plus Kuntha. Kuntha means what? Kuntha means misery. And Vai means no. Vaikuntha means no misery. So that place where there is no misery is called Vaikuntha. So in that place, if one serves the Supreme Lord and he's putting some hard work behind it, there won't be any misery to it. It will be done with happiness. In this world, when we work for our bosses and companies, we put so much hard work, right? Isn't it? All of you, all of us are working in companies and we put so much of hard work. Yes or no?
Yes.
So, is it like always a very happy situation to put that hard work? We are like supremely happy putting all that hard work in our company. Is it like that?
No, not always.
Ah. So for us, we experience the misery here. But in the spiritual world, it would be not. It won't be any misery. See, the closest that one can come is example of mother and child. The mother puts so much of hard work in taking care of the child, but of course there is some misery, but she experiences happiness also, right? There is great happiness, but that is in the material world. There is some misery also that she suffers, but in the spiritual world there is zero misery. in whatever effort we may put, there is zero misery. That effort itself will be very happy. Happy reaction will come. A devotee in Krishna consciousness has nothing for which to lament or desire. He is not desiring anything. If something is given to him, he gives it to Krishna. He thinks of how to utilize it in Krishna's service. He's not lamenting, saying, okay, I wanted this, I didn't get it. He's not worried about that. He's focused on Krishna's service. Okay, this is a very high state. I agree. It's a higher state. But we need to know what is that state. Since God is full, the living entity who is engaged in God's service in Krishna consciousness becomes also full in himself. When we serve Krishna, we also become full. We don't look here and there. He is just like a river cleansed all of all dirty water. The river becomes pure when we remove dirt from it. Similarly, the soul becomes completely, it is already pure, but there is no tinge of dirt in it when one serves Krishna. Because a pure devotee has no thought other than Krishna, he is naturally always joyful. He does not lament for any material enjoyment because he knows that every living entity is a fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and therefore eternally a servant. He does not see in the material world someone is higher and someone is lower. Higher and lower positions are ephemeral. So in this world, we always look at people who are higher than us. We look down at people who are lower than us. But in the spiritual world, it is not like that. One doesn't have any this higher and look. I'll give you one example. In one of the explanations of description of Vaikuntha, it is said that the birds, the animals, they would also chant the name of Narayan. Okay. Now in the spiritual world, there are honeybees also. And the honeybees are also chanting the name of Narayan. Now, the honeybees, when he chants the name of Narayan, the birds and the animals stop and they are watching at the honeybee. So they are not saying, oh, he is just a low person. Why should he only be given respect and all that? They won't see like that. Such thing only happen in this material world where we are living. For him, stone and gold are of equal value. This is Brahma Bhuta stage. This stage is attained very easily by pure devotees. In that stage of existence, the idea of becoming one with the Supreme Brahman annihilating one's individuality becomes hellish. The idea of attaining the heavenly kingdoms becomes phantasmagoria. And the senses are like serpents whose poison teeth are broken. As there is no fear of a serpent with broken teeth, there is no fear from uh, the senses when they are automatically controlled. Okay. I'll complete this, so then we'll discuss. The world is miserable for the material infected person, but for the spirit, for the devotee, the entire world is as good as Vaikuntha or spiritual sky. The highest personality in this material world is no more significant than an ant for a devotee. Such a stage can be achieved by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, who preached pure devotional service in this age. Okay, so few things have been explained for Brahma Bhuta stage. One is he doesn't see any lower or higher. He appreciates everyone. Even if a small bumblebee comes in front of a big elephant, the elephant will stop and watch at that bumblebee. In this world, we don't see such things. But in the spiritual world, it happens like that. And one thinks of merging into Brahman, he thinks that is hellish. Hellish. It is painful. And going to Swargaloka to enjoy Fantasta Moria. This means it is actually a dream. You really don't enjoy. And senses whose serpents are whose poison teeth are broken. That means if a snake is there and the whole poison is taken out from it, even the teeth are taken out from it, then are you worried of such a snake that will bite you? No. The senses are like snake. They'll take you away from Krishna. But one who has achieved the Brahma Bhuta stage, highly spiritual perfection stage, for him his senses are not serpents with poison ring, but they are serpents without the poison rings. So he has no fear that the senses would bewilder him, make him fall down. He's not worried of all these things. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavam yaschasmi tatvaha chasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. One can understand me as I am, the Supreme Personality, only by devotion service. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Abhijanati means janana. Janana. In Hindi we say na janana. That means to know. How will you know mama? Mama here is me. Who is speaking? Krishna. How to know Krishna? Through bhaktya, devotional service. So we can only understand Krishna by devotion service. When one is in full consciousness of me in such devotion, he can enter the kingdom of God. Tadha Vishate Tadanantaram. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and his planetary portions cannot be understood by mental speculation, nor by non-devotees. If anyone wants to understand Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has to take to pure devotional service under the guidance of a pure devotee. Otherwise, the truth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead will always remain hidden. And as already stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.25, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya, he is not revealed to everyone. No one can understand God simply by erudite scholarship or mental speculation. One who is actually engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service can understand what Krishna is. University degrees are not helpful. A very interesting point Prabhupada is writing here, that to understand Krishna we have to become devotee. How to become devotee? We have to serve under the guidance of another devotee. Okay. And then if one is very scholarly, he is able to produce a lot of arguments, these people also can understand Krishna as it is. Hmm? University degrees and all that, are they helpful on this process? No. They are helpful from material perspective. One who is fully conversant with Krishna's science becomes eligible to enter the spiritual kingdom, the abode of Krishna. Becoming Brahman does not mean that one loses identity. See, for Bhakti Yogi, he doesn't lose his identity. Okay, he goes into Vaikuntha planets, he gets a spiritual identity, and that remains. That doesn't change. There is no death over there. Okay, devotional service is there, and as long the devotional service exists, there must be God, the devotee, and the process of devotional service. So, if devotional service is there, God is there, Krishna is there, process is there, other devotees also there, and that devotee is also there. Such knowledge is never vanquished even after liberation. Liberation involves getting free from concept of material life. In spiritual life, the same distinction is there, same individuality is there, but in pure Krishna consciousness, one should not mistakenly think that the word Visate enters into me, supports the monist theory that one becomes homogeneous with the impersonal Brahman. So sometimes some philosophers, they read this word Visate as merging into Brahman. No. Why this is not merging into Brahman and why it is going to Vaikuntha planets? The reason is the word used is Bhaktya. So in Brahma Jyoti you can't do devotional service to the Lord. Okay, in Brahma Jyoti you can't do devotional service to the Lord. It is only so in Brahma Jyoti what happens is just a sky, okay, and one just stays there. One just stays there. So there is no bhakti as such. There is no activity. Like all these activities we cannot do. Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, we cannot do all of it. So Visate, how it is explained? Visate means one enters into the abode of Supreme Lord in one's individuality to engage in his association and render service unto him. For instance, a green bird enters a green tree. A green bird, a green parrot enters a green tree. It almost looks like it has become one with the tree. No, we can still, if we carefully see, we will still see the green parrot. Okay. Can you find where is the green parrot? Because it has a red beak, right? So it is easily found, but sometimes it becomes very difficult. Like you look here in this photo, it is very difficult to say, "Arey, where is the parrot?" So it's almost like it has merged into it, but in reality, it is still there. It is still there. Okay. So this is how that visate means. The impersonal generation have the example of river flowing into the ocean and merging. This may be the source of happiness for impersonalists, but personalists keep their personal individuality as like an aquatics in the ocean. Another example is given is when the rivers flow into the ocean, they become one and merge, and you don't know which water is what, which is fresh water, which is salty water. Everything has become salty. This is how the impersonalists explain. But the Bhakti Yogi says we are like the aquatics in the ocean, fishes in the ocean. They are there in the ocean. From top, we cannot see, right? Can we see from top the fishes in the ocean? No, right? We cannot see. We have to go inside the ocean and then we start seeing it's a different world out there. Same way, Bhakti Yogi is, he says, I am not the water that is merging into the ocean. I am the individual fish that is now going to swim in the ocean. And that's how my individuality is not lost. It is still there. So we find so many living entities within the ocean if we go deep. Surface acquaintance with the ocean is not sufficient. One must have complete knowledge of the aquatics living in the ocean's depth. Because of pure devotional service, pure devotional service, a devotee can understand transcendental qualities and opulences of the Supreme Lord in truth. As it is stated in the 11th chapter, only by devotional service can one understand. The same is confirmed here. So only by devotional service, bhaktya mam avijanati, we can understand Krishna. After attaining the Brahma Bhuta stage of freedom from material conception, devotional service begins one by hearing about Krishna. Now, how does this devotional service begins? It starts with hearing. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. So first is hearing, Shravanam. When one hears about the Supreme Lord, automatically the Brahma Bhuta stage develops and the material contamination, greediness and lust for sense enjoyment disappears. As lust and desires disappear from the heart of a devotee, he becomes more attached to the service of the Lord, and by such attachment, he becomes free from material contamination. In that state of life, he can understand the Supreme Lord. This is a statement in Bhagavatam also. After liberation, the process of bhakti or transcendental service continues. So after bhakti in Vaikuntha Prime, that service continues, okay? It doesn't stop. Vedanta Sutra 4.1.12 says the same thing. अप्राप्य अप्रायाणात् तत्रापि दृष्टम. This means that after liberation, the process of devotional service continues. In Srimad Bhagavatam, real devotional service defined as reinstatement of the living entity in his own identity, his own constitutional position. The constitutional position explained herein already explained. Every living entity is part and parcel of fragmental portion of Supreme Lord. Therefore, his constitutional position is to serve. After liberation, this service is never stopped. Actual liberation is getting free from conception of material life. Okay, so very important verse. Bhaktya. So bhakti doesn't end in this material world; it continues in the spiritual world. Okay, it's a very important point. Okay, we'll open up for some questions. Anyone has any question? Any question does anyone have? Yes, anyone?
No.
Okay. Tell me one thing. If there is a marriage of, let's say, a sister or brother, so many people are going to come, right? What
Yes.
is the experience of such a marriage? Are you happy in that marriage? Hmm? I didn't hear.
Yes, we are happy. We can see.
Yeah, we will be
Oh,
happy in that
yeah.
marriage, right?
We will. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. True.
Like, marriage of brother is there, many people around. I'm just trying to take a picture. Sometimes picture becomes very nice. So many people are there in the marriages. So many people around. Now, this is another picture where one is alone in the quiet hilltops of Himalayas. Now, if I compare these two, where do you want to be?
Both are very different occasions. They both have their different meaning and importance.
Okay, in material world we have duality. In a marriage also we'll be sad. Sometimes we are sad on the top of the mountain. It can have both the feelings, right? Right?
Yes,
It
yes.
can have both the feelings. Therefore, I ask you, let's say everything is good, then fine. There is no fight in the family and all that. Where do you think you will be? In this scenario or in this scenario? There is no fight, nothing, everything is good. It will be a good marriage and all that. Where do you think you will be and you will enjoy more?
Yes, if everything is good, there is
Everything is good.
nothing
We
much
will
of
like to be in
good.
that marriage, right? We'll like to be in that
Yes,
marriage. Now, material
yes,
world is
yes.
like that it can really go opposite. It can really go opposite. But but it gives some indication. It gives some indication. Now this is what I will tell you. So impersonalist, they merge into Brahman, and what they achieve is peace. Technical word is Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now Bhakti Yogi, they go beyond Brahma Jyoti into Vaikuntha planets. What they achieve over there? Do they achieve peace? They achieve what is called as Ananda, which is bliss. Now I'll tell you about this Ananda. Okay. What do you see in this picture? This is from the Vaikuntha planet. This is what is happening. What do you see? Tell me.
Mm, Lord Krishna is hiding from.
He's hiding from his mother Yashoda. He's stealing. Then what happens? What do you see in this picture?
She's running behind him to catch
Yeah,
him.
she's running behind to catch him.
He, yeah,
She tries to bind him. But in this story, what happens is, it is always short of two fingers. Okay?
mm,
What is happening here? Krishna is baking plots. Hmm? He's playing with his friends. Okay? He's running here and there. Is there peace? In all of this, is there peace? They are having Holi. Huh? Is there peace in Holi? How many of you play Holi?
there is no peace, there is happiness.
There is bliss. There is activity, there is action in the Vaikuntha planets. Technically, there is no peace. It is a very unpeaceful place. Shanti nahi hai wahan pe. Every day, Krishna is doing something or the other. He's running here, he's breaking into someone's house. Then what is happening? Everyone is getting ananda, bliss, happiness, supreme happiness. This is spiritual happiness. So which is better now? Peace is better or ananda is better? Hmm? Tell me.
Both are
Ananda is
good.
better.
Ananda is better, yes. There is cricket match going on. You can always watch that match alone at your home. Why we call our friends also? Come, let's watch us together. Why we call our friends? Why we can't peacefully do watch the cricket match? Huh?
Because we enjoy it more
Yeah, we
with
enjoy being
running
with
and
our
there is no.
friends. We enjoy being with our friends because is that very peaceful when we are with our friends. Is it a very peaceful state? Not at
No,
all.
no, no, not at
Not
all.
at all. But why is it that we still like it? Because
Because
it
they are
gives
our
some higher
friends.
pleasure. Okay? Because it gives some higher pleasure. Now that is material world. Think about spiritual world where person doesn't have any malice, no envy. So there where what happens is one gets pure ananda. Supreme Ananda he was. Like that. So this is the thing. This is what we are achieving. And in this state, one achieves trance. Okay. So the trance that we are looking is not for the peace. We are looking for Ananda. And that happens in devotional service. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Yeah. So this is the secret. When Krishna comes here, he does all these pastimes for what reason? To tell us, come to me. We will enjoy together. Hmm? We will enjoy together. All kinds of flutes, all kinds of plays, swing, water, everything. Just fun. Okay. So we will stop here.